Right, yeah. The path is still, we're in the cone, the entire state essentially now in the cone, Anthony, but we're getting a little bit more confident where we think this potentially could be going because the model, the spread of the spaghettis, they've come much more in agreement. So when that happens, we get a little bit more confidence, but a lot of days to go. A little bit closer now, I want to show you that we're see the bubbling up here. We're getting some strengthening going on, good outflow around the storm on all sides now. It's a good indication we're not dealing with any shear. It's moving into very warm waters. It's a slow moving storm though. We're only about 6 miles an hour at this point in time. The slower the movement could be better for us because eventually that turn to the north is going to happen. And if that turn to the north happens a little sooner because of a slow forward motion, that's good news. That potentially could stay offshore. That could be wishful thinking at this point in time. Winds at 70 though, a pressure down to 989 millibars. Westward track, notice it starts to bend a little bit to the north. This is the official track from the Hurricane Center. And so you see this large cone all the way down to the Georgia-South Carolina border, all the way up to off our coastline. And there are still some models, specifically like the German model, that keep this offshore and out to sea, which is going to be close enough to the coast to have impacts, but would bring absolutely nothing to us. But other models are bringing it onshore. And specifically, if you take a look at the European model, it wants to bring it up in Interstate 40, essentially, at least the deterministic model. Look at all the model spread now. You remember yesterday, the fan was much bigger. It was all the way down to Florida, to well offshore. They're coming a little bit closer, so confidence is coming a bit higher. This red line is the official track from the National Hurricane Center. The timing on this, when we'll start to feel the winds, we could potentially feel, and I'm not talking gusts, potential sustained winds early Thursday morning. At least the probability is around 40-50% chance. Wednesday night, almost a guarantee along the coast, be feeling those tropical storm force winds. And then, of course, the gusts are going to be much higher than that. So if you don't have a disaster kit, a hurricane kit, you should always have at least some kit, because here in the wintertime we have bad weather, as you know, as well. And we can have power outages. But I would have water and non-perishable foods enough for 3 days for each person in the household. First aid kit, flashlight with extra batteries, and cash. If we have power outages for an extended period of time, you can't be using your credit card. So cash on hand, car and solar powered chargers. You know, if you don't have any power in the house, a solar-powered charger is always a good thing to have. And don't forget your pets. They need pet food. They might need medication. You might need medication and things of that nature. So now is the time to prepare, just in case, you know, the worst does happen with this storm, which is a definite possibility, as it's going to be getting really strong as it nears our coastline the coming days.